waters rise and we face the fire, we'll rest in our foundation. Hand in hand, on our knees, nothing between us. You, me, and Jesus. Oh, we'll have a few fights. Who's wrong and who's right? But I want you to know, at the end of the day, I'm always here to stay. No, you'll never be alone. Come what may, the highs, the lows. Well, this life will be hard, but you and me won't. When the waters rise and we face the fire, we'll rest in our foundation. Hand in hand, on our knees, nothing between us. You, me, and Jesus. Come what may, the highs, the lows. Well, this life will be hard, but you and me won't. Oh, and when it's time to say goodbye, we'll rest in our foundation. Hand in hand, on our knees, nothing between us. 'Cause in the end, even death could only lead us to you, me, and Jesus. Wipe your tears, take a breath. Lay your head on my chest. Let me hold you through the night. Yeah, the world can bring us down, but I still believe somehow it's all gonna be alright. Come what may, the highs, the lows. Well, this life will be hard, but you and me won't. When the waters rise and we face the fire, we'll rest in our foundation. Hand in hand, on our knees, nothing between us. You, me, and Jesus. Oh, we'll have a few fights. Who's wrong and who's right? But I want you to know, at the end of the day, I'm always here to stay. No, you'll never be alone. Come what may, the highs, the lows. Well, this life will be hard, but you and me won't. When the waters rise and we face the fire, we'll rest in our foundation. Hand in hand, on our knees, nothing between us. You, me, and Jesus. Come what may, the highs, the lows. Well, this life will be hard, but you and me won't. Oh, and when it's time to say goodbye, we'll generation, hand in hand on our knees, nothing between us. 'Cause in the end, even death could only lead us to you, me, and Jesus.
You and me and Jesus. And you was that in ya, I say, come what may, the highs and the lows. Well, this life will be hard, but you and me will not be. When the waters rise and we face the fire, we'll rest in our foundation, hand in hand, on our knees, nothing between us, only you and me and Jesus. And that time, it talks about a relationship that has tension, that has struggles, that has conflict. But then, in the midst of this tension and conflict, our ebusuafo might be say, "Nibesia no, ebeka wo and Jesus Christ." Some Bible and a mesre so ama wo say, wabusua mu asetena no, yebesi biara, ewiase betumi adane na akobunku nifa. Nanso, wone wo kafo, wone wo kunu yire, wone wo ma wawofo. Se ye wa abusua kese mu ofie, se ye ni enua no mo, ye ne yasafo ma, it will always be you and me and Jesus. And so welcome to this evening's episode of our whole program on the theme, Love's Little Annoyances. And tonight I'm talking about empathy and tensions. See, who is share any career and war or two and a busia. Now, me bon empire say, Kadian Bonyanko Bomba Kayin na ya, and near Mabia, a hinter hintayen, yen shadam fire tree and Kosono, or no Yanko Patri agreeing Esso. Now, near to see a gem, was some boy by a gem, and near to see a sumuzuno, Kadian Bonyanko Ponya and not yen sumusa, Senebea, Eviano, and in him to so Becase, and Becca yen, and in Yamuka, and in Yesu Christo. Maybe I want to say, had now cut with me a year, Messer Anami Amo Empire. When young couple and you bray a brayer, Tawas, yes, from Kuno. Nay, the Adrian Coa, Chedia Baku, out the chair, yeah, in the Kumpa, a year door, and now for a year, and then down for grow, I will see Yakuma. When I would be kind celebrity this fellowship. And Dora is and Bawin Nasi and Yasidakis here and a Bawin near Bedawasia. Now, yes, so Bessia, my entiasia, Bessa, my room. And my Chadia would demand ye, betting be a year to my shielding number. And you bring a dear warrior, you will send and Uncle Fa, your Safu, Etna, ye to my aim. Baby Biara and any petting kitauti, Christus Ankitaudiano, any addition, Sasse. Bibi a huntayana and my Indian Q. Unyankopon can be in a dear train. Was answer ya say, I am to be upon every. When I'm too for, yes, sir. If you was a Mudebia, one nam Sirakas, yes, so. Massa should have been not far the career of a queen, so I would have major over and would have made home continue. Amen. Amen. So, empathy and tensions. Empathy and tensions. So, what they will share would often be tibia bimo. What they will share or baby tibia bimo. What they will share or wolf tibia. Now, would bring to the sun and coward. Now, who be a sen, also who be a set to seven. And no Cobasana, it may tear one sepa. I'm saying, yes, share you do me dear security with Siana. Yamaya Boboso. Yeah, a print getting. Yes, and I'm fire green and Cosmo. Then so it to be do how big ba Yabusium. Now, Sunday my account be ensemble. Now, maybe some of these are tensions, a chassis. Set me cut tensions here. In himself, worry, yeah, with you, being timid was it. So when I talk about tensions, I'm referring to the strains and the scratches and the hurts and the frustrations, conversational breakdowns and connection challenges. Meaning I'll be defining an idea. But the person what you are saying is I'll be doing maintain once. Boso na boso na bi de bi ana yete ho no. E prepra yensem e prepra yen dofo bi yen ma yen awofo kasetwie ebi enitiebuo bi a yadwen enya nkọ so mempene kaso kamanutu mintie ene se memfa ho nka me mempesa saa nyema esisi ewo relationship mu no yawari mu no na enyimre me pesi metwi yadwi esiso na saa tension we no awari bia
cover okon na what the check
bia saa nyema we ena ma wawari eye unique. Now the difference between awari a enije wo any awari a enije ni the difference na enye se saa awari na ekoyi no imaginary awari no tension ni mu. And the difference is that tension tension is capable of brewing in every marriage. But then couples in healthy marriage, they tend to productively find solution and find a way to navigate the tensions. But one now, or my SS and not there, we don't say tension and that tension what it whereas and kofobi use tension enya and kabusu nkono. And kofobi awafo ebusuyefobi and the tension near prayer make come once and when I'm so a moment tempted to ekra. That's our tension ya ken a gumu a robe bree a webusium. A guma who robe bree what and for yemu. A guma who robe bree won't get up with yemu. Now me person bobo makumakubiso. Bakoye intimacy tension. One will say ye be worry and I webusium. Ye wo everything from ye dear mu fem fam yam titu aware fuom wode wo ho bata wo ho na du mmiri bia e ko bi mpaso agudie mu abonya me ehira so but the do bonbon so bi akwanya obi faso edwin se oyire ne dwin se mpaso agudie ne bekon amano enkosa ama kwanya okunu beje se oyire be dane ne ho de akere no ebi wa enkosa ama no du be hu se obi anyiye obi antwin fa obi aso but du be hu se na afedie obi asese ne ho te se akokọ a eno American obi aso so no aye boso not yo no otwen as was set trap na woni na be tosa trap ni pe hu amani kwanya obi pese ode ne ti atu ne kuno so ode ne nan eto ne yere so ne yiri benya adaaje e de amma ne sa na one no abon komo no sa timtebia no enkoso sa jubo se na adiefuo aba edu me bi a trust tensions and so to me build pa e wo fi trust tensions say bi to say yes suspect you say unya ukunu a obefa na chi oyere suspect you ukunu suspect you say unya na obefa na chi ti not detected suspicion to me the nsamba jealousy enso to me the nsamba obi to me di sa minim engrophobia and sorry kra no and the yere ekọ join kwa the voice nya dem so no apo join kwa ni because of the so the yere fa down for pe no afa ni kru fa down for pe no afọ so sa akodo ni kru no afa down for when these trust tensions are there this is why and how we behave the way we do sometimes time what we use time for can be another tension time tensions well open free time we yere ukru je say senior wonya free time no is free time only ba ebusuya align time I would go ejuma mu nsem ebi wa na di ejuma nsem ni grab afie sa time no anka ye busuya time no na ye tra ejuma asem ye ka busuya foforo asem ye ka nipa foforo bi asem atamfo bi ho asem we never have time to talk about ourselves and that can be time tension sometimes tensions ni be external maka ejuma mu nsem a ye de ba fie ena bi wo anam fo yen nsem a ye de ba fie ena ne kese pa wo yen bibirfo mu ebusua tintin mu nsem a ye de ba fie you see we wherefore so when who send ya obetumi navigate between nsem a efi wo busua tintin mu unua no mo nsem wɔ faase no mu nsɛm wo papa no maame nsɛm na wɔahu saa asɛm no kwan a wobɛfa so navigate na da biara no abusua a wo ne wo yere wo kunu ne wo mma ɛte hɔ no ɛhɔ ɛna ayɛ sɛ abusua no only lives to serve the interest of wo abusua tenten deɛ a the tension so bɛba. Sometimes change, not all of us can embrace change or are in favor of change anytime. Sometimes some of us, it takes us a long time to adjust. And change threatens the very existence of our being. And most of the time, no, you change, sir. And you do the be now couple back and now worry me back who no yere. They be an old return quite anymore, yenye be for yenye say, yenye sa. Na baako ɛrezo yɛnto yɛ book akra ebedum biribi no change the environment tension so ɛbɛba make that change ebi wɔ hɔ a asɛ yi okunu yɛ adwuma bi ɛsɛ o change adwuma no na ɔyɛ adwuma foforɔ o change adwuma no pɛ the time na nka abusua no yɛ used to no after the time na asesa we will need about a year or two to readjust ourselves to that new time ɔyere aswitch na adwuma bi and also saa Emma, you drove to one neighborhood, another neighborhood. Or you didn't send the parking and now grow, or couldn't him say, sir, he said, obey your car, no fuck car, I fear 2 car, offer near my parking back, and now grow. Say about called the enemy about what she died, moon said, 79, or you say about the dinosaur, and she knows on Yago, and Manso, of my forming now for 4 necklace cacra, and was zip code be. And she said, "Would you feel another place? I call the zip code. No, the BR person obey a new B. It was school for the BR or a new B that the BR said, or no, the Oba and chair. The people are resistant to change. And you say, oh, she be. Whenever there is change, there's bound to be a change tension. Sometimes also, you were yen do a JBR, ye dear atu your hoso, and a busianim say yen. So one neglects our responsibilities now. And they neglect tension so much. And you may be a sujebi. I was yenin yenim say radio kune. A busianina yenim say or yere and a busianina you say Emma and I will for an a. But time may be good. I should see a bear. Now ye. And also to me the neglect tension. But when you neglect your responsibilities, when you neglect to do your duties, when the family depends on you to survive, and it gets to that point, now you say, you should be sure, say, neglect tensions at the Hubabeji. Oh, parenting start. Obi Owa, but the attitude of the Kosiakra manner, yes, obey a crow, money, and America, yeah, the Kosia, the Akrano of Fana, the oh, parents about queers and what Tiano, Debbie, Castle, Chai, number point is also Jano. So, yes, I know this year, parenting star, Quaya Paso, Tiam of Fra, Quaya Yam Faso, and Tiam of Fra, Tamas Mofra, and Taria Mofra, TV program will bet to me a share, time as we use mobile phone. They would bet to me the computer, personal computers. Somebody may want to be authoritarian, somebody will want to be as a friend. Type of, and it's our class here to me, but and also the parental tension. Expectations. We began boss over 2 nights ago. So, quite offer so be worrying. I bring in the botayenty and not a see when you saw the worry. Maybe I'll buy warrior say, who be pair and down for, or be over now and chain 24/7. After the only way, and I will must shall see a bob 15 years down the lane. I believe you are now saying you are suffocating him or her with your very presence. Or could be an audinity, or could go down there, winnie, or peer, or cosset a backyard one, winnie, or go washroom when you need. After the almost another when expectations are not met, when there are differences in expectations, reading a new child, and reading a cheese washer, at the end of the day, at the assembly, and we call that one expectations tension. Oh, why would him say, I did a boss of Kessie? Sika ye moja, Sika, and yet Nipo moja and relationship moja, so a Sika can be. A Bible can't be say Sika as solving every problem. Money is a solution to all problems. And a Bible can. It is how the way, sir, Sika semi, and to me, the assembly, but whenever one of the couple or even family member feels that another person or another member of the family is misusing or abusing trust their mom in finances, I feel you'll be in some degree. And we can have financial tensions also. Communication also can be a problem anyway. Kwanya efa so kasa. The emergency say woka. Ene ni amemete ene kwanya mefa so eyi wa no. And also to be the same bebre eba. Ye wo gen say meme kan ya ma nka ne sa. And at the emergency say wo be kan wa nka yi. Ene oto na wo de kasa ye. Ene kwanya afa so twe wo nsem bi mu. Wo de stress si nsem bi so. Ubu many tie ebi wo share me kakra. Was scanning me kakra bra na wo kasam. So our communication attention to me the back. When I feel say what I am saying is not being carried across, and when you feel what I'm saying also I do not understand that. I feel those are in same degree eba. I feel men can say your personal space. So in every relationship we need to give time for ourselves. Okay, we need time for ourselves. We need to be us. We'll be friend in the meantime. That's how I can want them in the course of the saying. We need personal space. But when your personal space is invaded, okay, and I can say, oh yes, I've got restroom, Okunani Munie, or Yideni. We are so called Daka Kra, or Koda, hey, Odona Unti Assembly by Assembly Crano. Some Pekras Obu Tinko, if you say, yeah, pass a match. Wouldn't you now go who's to see Asamaba? This is a 2 weeks and Sunday Johnny Case in our court. Na come once also is an ABC and how I get it. And can we have a red light? So this time, all drink. And Juba said, what's one hour drinking one casawa problems and some no, you are giving time to assess yourself, to examine yourself. That is where family responsibilities come knocking. And it's like only vacation. And I know, Obi Asama Okache was also for. I said, your co school, your credit my friend, your phone baby. And it is a baby, and as a bedroom, Namikuno, and some people Hamadian, and the bit in some people Hamadian. When do I have break for myself? When do I think about myself? So, personal space, it means the tension, but when it is not keeping the primacy as and when it's needed. So, you have personal space, tension. Now, we have cultural and religious tension also. Of course, cultural. I mean, can you see? Yeah, ma. You see the barrier here, and sometimes now for my mom paye if you say sometimes easy. When you have been born and raised in a culture, then you move all the way because your parents wanted a greener pasture. No more moving from what you used to know, how you have adopted your friends and your friends of early years. Life in goes in aspiration in an assessor. Then you come to another culture, all right, another culture which is entirely different from yours. And over time, with time, you need to find a way somehow to adapt to the present culture. And our culture now we're adapting, where then you do not fit into it well. So whereas other people have one cultural background, you have three. You have the one you came with from Ghana, you have the one that you came to meet here, and you have the one that you are fitting in, which will probably be a blend of Ghana American culture. Okay, and sometimes say these things are still going on, and we're finding our balance and bearing. Sometimes it builds internal conflict within ourselves. Now sometimes you to be control, they are pour on the other person. Once you cry now, what does a whoopee Ghana buy? So be fear a chippy, or be fear a poye, no more carbon mawar and cry. And what is semi brave? Oh, will be to me call Asoria, and SDA, will be to me call Methodist, will be to me call Presby, will be to me call Pentecost, will be to me call Assemblies of God, Roman Catholic Church, or don't you know Makosia, no Mako Wani, or Moko Warrior, tie to have any problem. Come I have also bomb fire, but any problem. Empo. So we be what you bet me ye na ya contract. But the way our parents are so close to pastors. Now worry the parents in and answer the background. They saw the pastor as a sanctified person who should always be let alone and keep a distance. One here, the way I will appreciate the church in Yemen, so our spouse may not also appreciate the things that way. They could have tighter, a better answer. You raise a man or school and a moment school, a better. And there are many points of tensions, and these are few ways by which these tensions, tensions are making one some the other strengths, They are the scratches, they are the hurts, the frustrations and conversational breakdowns and connection challenges. And a robbing end of the joys that we have anticipated in our relationship. And when our anticipation do not come as we want, when they are set aside or sidelined, it breeds tension. And these tensions can be manifested in several ways. Now, one proven way scientifically that can help us to resolve the tensions, the inbuilt tensions in our relationships, empathy. That is a single word that is pregnant with solutions to tension. Now, we can't empathy. Meaning, na one game by you. Well, say, you can't empathy now. Brofokasa ni mono. They are total compassion and sympathy. Compassion and sympathy. But compassion and sympathy are not synonymous to empathy. Why am I saying that? See, I can't say sympathy. Sympathy means to say, unjina will be chain and a woni bakono. Or how sympathy. You are suffering alongside that person. Unjina in chain. And one was a year back, Musufo who at the Sabbath 2, Bishop 2, if you was you. Also, all sympathizers are cordially invited. Mumbra, na mumechina yenche, na yengiaro. And your compassion. Now, Jesus Christ use the best image of compassion. Compassion is a who will be mobile, tin you, who ne mobile. The situation now a woman, who ne mobile. Now who are on top of the relationship because dynamics. There be a do be a problem. On back comes below your status, and you need panel. Or under your status, who are upper hand in the power relation, who use your power to make sure that when the partner you bring a solution to one partner problem. And there is more of a superior-inferior relationship. And Jesus Christ was supernatural. Jesus Christ was a body, and a body. And today be a double and tears as is who be tibiano. Na Jesus Christ yama shishino. I am that is the first point of call. The second step will say Christ will do everything in his power to relieve that person or alleviate the person from what the person is suffering from. Now the GD said, and the Christo any and Jango Namu, but whom will be no warrior war, a Jana Yam Shishino, and what young. And that is what compassion is. Now, so make a sympathy, but make a empathy. Empathy is putting yourself in the person's situation and imagining the person's suffering, woes and sorrow and sadness as the person will experience it. So you enter into the person's world and you see the world through the person's eyes. You feel the world through his feelings, and then you think about the world through the person's thoughts, whilst at the same time you maintaining your personality. So this is what we're talking about as empathy. And so I have to look at it as a respectful understanding of what other people are experiencing. I know that the feeling is not mine. So men can be told me and can make them differently. I could have used my discretion to do one thing or the other. Or being at the end of the soon I did that for maybe I can use. But maybe in fact the uncoming the situation, maybe playing dinner time. Then we made them who best share the shoes must stay ready and yow. I do we are sister AC and come once a week, and you are sending then go to sister AC. And I know so sorry you want to the pastor kind. Jaimanenka, tell you, because I am here, I mean Jaimanenka, sir. Mean from a holier than thou attitude being good in the Nemo, and yet then you so many prejudices and from the deep rooted perceptions or about a man they want to continue or radio your bema or your dada bunny at a team on fire social media. Now, me judge as a son of a banana or year of a moody and a dear also boy, a bubble year. Being Casa, I will make space for them, allow them to express their feelings and their thoughts. I will allow them to experience the world the way they deem fit, whilst at the same time being there for them and looking at life from their perspective. And that is what we mean by empathy. But for also, I say that there was our wedding. it holds the solution to the tensions. There's so many tensions that brew in our marriages. So okunu for once ever put a wase. Now on the nehuashe the yiri shoes. Why are Nire speaking the way she's speaking? Why she's thinking the way she's thinking? Why she's feeling the way she's feeling? If only you could pause for a while and walk in the person's moccasins, you understand. So give it to me at Tronebo. I'm my church remu. You couldn't to an amomba kumienu me and Sunday nante na real good anymore. Anka problems be anka way I want you anka Twitter. So Emma benya botre. Anyone who has one woeful situation, that what a woeful assay. Why they speak the way they do, why they think they are yelling when they are not yelling, why they want them to go to school, why they want to raise them the way they want, why they want to bring them to what they lack in life, and so make them proud because they say, "Omo di omo nsa nka no, omo person mo ye man." Say, "Emma benya da tie awofo anka awofo bebre die no nyam dama wo nyankopon." Sa awofo bebre be nya time tie mbofra. One predicament, one situation, in this information-based economy, we will not be quick to judge. When we say you are full of empathy, we mean that you don't treat people with your prejudices, you don't treat people with your deep-rooted negative perceptions, you don't treat people with a judgmental attitude. You make space for them. You make space for their feelings. You make space for how they perceive the world. You make space for how they want to be loved. You make space for how they want to relate to other people. Now, so we make it space. The MOB doesn't mean that you endorse what the person is doing. It's just to tell the person, say, I accept you. Come and let us reason together. But most of the time, we are so quick to judge. Most of the time, we don't have time to listen. See, a bit to me, and your empathy, and all the conflicts and the tensions that we have, they will be eliminated from our relationships. And so, empathy brings understanding. So, minya daji ema mi kunwa. So, minya daji tie me ma. So, minya bre ema ma wofwa. Me ti wase. After me to make us say, or for my mbusa was able. One will say, and plan do our best pray and jump into conclusion before body. But I want to was a dean, almost a 2 of one. I mean, himself, pray with the work and say, oh, as someone tell me as yes, sir. Oh, man, dear, yes, sir. So, we are empathy now, and who say, will be shoes. Sounds of the emblem. Oh, I'm coming here and I'm coming to me book a crack. So I'm coming to me book a crack. And then the empathy teacher will say, I have to go. If it's a nipping na yawo, nipping na wa dream for Ukunu, or Yere, send our dream, and yes, son wondering. O man wa wofwo, send our dream, and yes, son wondering. Now, communication also will be smooth because their meetings are made cultural. And then their meetings are what different from their woe. What make us and the choir was watch last year into Casano, who ye are not, I am different. Say the empathy, but boy and bra, out of what you bet you young bonko ye, you bet see a once ye. Now a failure, we will be heading towards the same direction. Say a ba, say, maintain me once be ba, empathy wa, and to boissy intino, it to be solving your conflict and your tension. I feel to me, my emotional support, and my youngs, out of what I did be anywhere yet come with the answer, say, oh, could be young with us all over the be anywhere bro and Tiasiani and Niji was as to say, or you be Benya Motoswa, Ewo, Nikuno. So emotional support to say, a real sin in there you took me. Ukuno, Wajiri, Ewo Homa. Sa feeling, a feeling that be a would be as if you are to me back and to tom. And it builds trust and so. Sir, yet to me, Creo, Yalia Hot Tomoswa, Ocasi and Jasura, Yasho, Yasho so, Yasho for money, and to me, my Yanya, we are one regime. And to me, my we are titi. Or for so open solution, dear, oh, bomb pie, now come pie. Catch on Yanko, say, Yanko, fill me with empathy. Empathy for my wayward daughter. Empathy for my wayward son. Empathy for my non-caring parents. Empathy for somebody who claims he loves me, she loves me, but practically I know it doesn't happen. Actually, when Yanko Pozo Yami. Me empathy. Say the empathy sum nyame wa asɔre a ɔsɔfoɔ ne asɔfoɔ ɛne wɔ abusua bɛte asafo ma ase na asafo ma nso bɛte ɔsɔfoɔ ne n'abusua ase. Say the empathy ɛkɔ church board meeting a yɛbɛte yɛn ho ase ɛwɔ board meeting na yɛmfi nyame fie ɛmfa ntɔkwa nkɔ fie. Say the empathy bɛtena yɛn pews mu ɛwɔ asɔre dɛm a onyame honhom bɛsane ɛfiri sɛ ɛno na ɛbɛkyerɛ nnipa sɛ yɛtete yɛn ho ase ɛwɔ ɔdɔ kwan so ɛwɔ nyame abusua mu. Sɛ wokɔ mpaebɔ a nneɛma nyinaa a wɔbɛbɔ no ayɛ afa empathy so ɛka ho bi. Na ɔbɔnsam nim sɛ saa empathy ehia paa no wɔde nneɛma bebree abɛsi yɛn kwan ato wɔ between yɛn ɛne atenka a yɛnya ma afoforɔ ɛberɛ a yɛde yɛn ho ɛhyɛ wɔn tibea mu anaa wɔ dabere mu. Ano ne empathy no. Number one, distraction, busyness, and rushing. Why don't we have time for each other? Because we are distracted. Okuno fi edumamba, oyire fi edumamba, emma fi school aba. Say obenya daje busa wo ho ate sen, oda ko sen, then ko ya nko yie, then abeya fa ho. Now we have betena no afa the mobile phone. Now we have to no afa the mobile phone. We are busy. I rehearse say there are some of us are on my 28 hours in a day cry. You better join them say income. We rush through things. Or you kasa who can in them. Okunu kasa and two patch saying, and man kasa, I don't have time. I will leave you behind. And I will for kasa, we are busy people, we are distracted people, and we rush through things. How can we have empathy? Sometimes some of us have been nurtured, we have been groomed to avoid pain. And you are something embassy a bit about of war. And we are their life side by side in life. If you train yourself to enjoy the sweet moments of life, equally train yourself to accept the sorrowing moments in life and the sad moments of life. But you are kind of and the Bema, why Nini and Hosama and one and money tinka so betti in Suono, and feed the Moako, since you are sterilized, so to say, to pain. And the expressing painful movements in this situation on Tiasia. The year expressing painful and sorrowing moments on Tiasia. It says a bearman to my children and 1 15 years, 40 years in me. On to me, why people cry when they shouldn't cry. That's not it. He doesn't see it. Therefore, how can you have empathy when you have blocked your mind to pain? We judge others. It's obviously a bit what they are suffering and how they are suffering from it. And I already, sir, already, sir, so we cruise, oh, sir, somebody or Tika say, oh, sir, the almost category. And Jim said, category for radio, almost area, and Jesus will be a swearia. Who share Ubusana, who saw us up with the road, so swearia, yes, up with the swearia. And no trouble. You see, and the above are we hearing, and as our phone our James said, Musuria Libya. If you have no swan, Sana the catcher, or my Suria or Southway, the Musuria, Southway, you are judgmental of other people. Therefore, if you want one advice, people don't need judges, they need friends. We need friends, somebody to tap our shoulder, somebody to offer the shoulder, say, you can lean on me. And where else can we get that if we don't get it from the house? The person can be unconscious bias. In fact, in more professional circles, we find implicit bias. The Muankasano, Yankasa Yonkophobia, Yamin Kamwa, what booming in Tiana, Umukra, is what booming in Tiauti. And so, what your master corner people say, a Madia, Sabi, a Madia winning answer. Oh, remember 10 for what you win your dog. Oh, Asante for me, Madia, Omunimaware. Oh, votarians and Madia, we are hard work. These are implicit biases. So, and the moment that Russia will be falling into that category, when you have such unconscious bias, they deal with them for so many years, how can you feel for people? You become non apathetic to people's problems. Then feeling defensive. Oh, Onyaba. And nothing like Debiano, Unkura Bremuno, as you boo for, and you will be now Kumba catcher of Ghana. Oh, die. and I'm here to say, and I'm here, and I'm not kind, and I'm here, and I'm going in, and so at the end of the day, one hour yard, or be over. Why is the police near what you? There be a police in the action. I say, okay, in himself, I'm a call 80 miles, the breast I'm a call 70. Our police in the songs who Ghanaian, now that told me, you see how people reason. Our real world do be as how. Oh, could I be a cano? No, I can find a year the other balance. So now also, yes, I'll be boom many goods. In that, the logic behind it is say, oh, yeah, give me boom many goods. So, when we meet now, boom many goods, but here decide you a opera, a better than I. And that is why we become so defensive. Then be any aggressive. And I don't be our here and a choir of us on the Kasai, no, I need you. And for choir a fast on the Kasai, and yet we hear a semi year catching out any year. So what Jais had in a year, choir a fast on Kasai, next time you will like it. But when you are feeling defensive, overtly defensive, tell me, how can you put yourself in people's situation? Now, I know I'm a drink drinks as if we are. Number who say, on young couple, you know, cough for pa. Ocean in some more, and some more church, they see so pepper. And they must say, me copper, baby. 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. Or say, me memkuma. Let us not love in word. So, what can we do? Beer. Then, man, you are not far. Would they cast a wood do any pacono? And you will catch them also, and cast a catch them a deck. Now, the one more fan who gets already and the catch them as well. No, the non fan of us are own is a pewasem. Bible says a wood do beer. Oh, can man, oh, can you? Niawakan, your Sandian. Love indeed and in truth. So you bet to me and the nuclear and they yet don't know you're done a diatra for. Not your dopey and then a DP chance a casana or the one can never be free. I bet to turn up them. We need to love indeed and in truth. Now, brother, make us a love indeed and in truth. So, I word love never on. You therefore, I can say, I'm a friend, agape love, agape, unconditional love, self-sacrificing love, self-denying love, selfless love. That is the kind of love we are talking about. Now, the epitome of that love is Jesus Christ. Onona, ebro ne asuafo omu ni na nante abre Yesu Kristo dinti ya maye bebi e kwa koditi ye ko ya mon se nso wo na ase keke obi abre na obi adabo na watwe ne nan se opeso obi foforo wo na ase afi Yesu Kristo wura peni opo ade no ankasa esan so odo ye nti no oyo eduma e wo odomo obre ne ho ase odofo sa wo somo yira na why you den so so kura na why you den so so wa wo fo a o so ma enye do na nyanko po hwehwe Yesu Kristo ankasa owura no efa toro bonase ene ofa kuru wa hwie nsuo gumo ena Yesu Kristo bre ne ho ase esan so do ye ntino obofro ye nase se won so do yire a enye wa no na ade bekan aya obofro ne nase bra ho ase ma no tie ne kasa woni ne nkambom wa bisa mu ye nipa ba so wo do wukuna aya won so wo na ase bra wo ase ma no fa wo do sonko ma no fa nedie ma no e be say ye nipa ba ko se ye do ya wo fo do ye ma e be bra ye ho ase dia mom owura Yesu Kristo wie no asem o kai ne se mo fra me owura na dia me ye ma fere e na mo tibu abu mu fo dia ene ma ma mo nhweso se mo ma mo a mo je se mo kro no mo bra mo ase sara anya no ngwa owura Yesu do ye nti okwase dia no so eku wuwe ni kwase wuo e de mai imagine for once say Yesu say me do mu ba mi wu ma me do wo but me wu ma me do how would we have found remission and reconciliation with God by Yesu do ye nti no Yesu Kristo kwase dia no so hwe se nyankofo twa mi mpre titi nto si ogu ne so odo in action say eja don't account what they are doing. Don't put it into the account. Don't blame them. Blame it on me. If you say, this is real love. Say, you do ya for your bayet says, Jesus Christ, yeah. Don't enya anofafa. Edo. Aquarium say, you do ya who yam when yam you Michiana Safuma. Ya don't enya no fanfamado. Ya nim ya was besere. yɛne wɔn a wɔdi awerɛhoɔ ɛbɛdi awerɛhoɔ saa ɔdɔ wei bi na Onyankopɔn hwehwɛ ɔdɔ a ɛni nipa mu yiyi mu ɔdɔ a ɛsoasoa foforɔ ne so a ɔdɔ a yɛn nyinaa yɛdi yie bɔ mu na yɛn nyinaa kɔ amanneɛ bɔ mu this is ɔdɔ a Onyankopɔn hwehwɛ sɛ ɛdu da bi na wobiebie wo Bible na wɔɔkae a wokae 1 John chapter 3 verse 8 now remember the word empathy. Jesus Christ is the epitome of empathy. Mame mentwuma adwene si nneɛma nsia bi so a yɛbɛtumi ayɛ sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a yɛbɛnya empathy yi bi yɛde yɛn ho bɛhyɛ afoforɔ tebea mu na yɛgyina hɔ ama wɔn ate wɔn ase ahwehwɛ sɛ yɛbɛte wɔn ase kyɛn sɛ yɛbɛbu wɔn atɛn. Number one is accept flaws. Ɔdɔfoɔ mesrɛ wo ebusua na wotim no ɛnyɛ abɔfoɔ ɛna wo ne wɔn aware ɛnyɛ abɔfoɔ ma ɛna wawo wɔn ɛna ɛnyɛ ɔbɔfoɔ nso na ɔwo wo ne wabɔfoɔ nkita wo die no kae sɛ wabɔfoɔ ɛnyɛ abɔfoɔ. Every person has flaws and imperfections. Obiara wɔ nea nso nanso bi ɛwɔ ne ho. And you can't ever force a person to change. Meaning say December beba one kasa ba ko sero nyame so nyame bo amena me sesa na so do 3rd January na we say won no epe so na my week for the fact is say won to me sesa won means that you cannot change anyone. Bible say how can a leper change his skin? No, onyame pe na di change ba. So you can't ever force a person to change. Therefore, you must date somebody who has flaws you can live with or even appreciate. That's what worrying so dear. Get used to the flaws and imperfections of your wife or husband. So what worry? Get used to them because they are not going away. Get used to them. There are things that only Bakonangasa struggle to live with. There are things that only Bakonangasa struggle to get away from his life. Until say you may have to live with them. And the other four, say only one for the area. Who say there are flaws you must accept. There are imperfections you need to put up with. So when you mind the area, who say there are flaws to accept. There are imperfections you need to adjust to. I know, and I make sure I do this. Now, and in just I'm going to say, our perfections may attract us to one another. And therefore, yes, prepare your name, maybe a unity. Also, Osia will be a, or say it's into Ben of a pen. Also, send on the name to true unity. Send on Cassanity. Are you perfect? The perfect things will attract us to our spouses, but it is our imperfections that decide whether we will stay together or not. You know, but say you only back one, you are going to see the so because what now position or go better and I yes Christo beba. It depends on how the person adjusts to our imperfections. So ultimately, I see here, and the imperfections hold marriages together. Imperfections. And you say, oh warrior, we a baby now warrior. And for 2 years, she will be a over imperfections. Now I dare to say, Sanya will be a paper because one way or the other, by and large, it will show up. Attraction will be based upon your perfection. But whether you stay in marriage for long or not, it depends on how the person accommodates and cope or compromises or adjusts to your imperfections. Number 2, we need time apart. Yenya agimbi ewo yenyi say our for there esi eye niema bom enokre esi ekọ baabi abom enokre but do bibia. We shouldn't forget to say we are individuals first before we came together. When him say the ma wo yire ekondo wo ana ukun enho wadwe na ni be see wo so who you were and only na attract no but our you do the be you move bebre mistake na mistake na na say me pese me sesa me ho te yet say the bikuru ana me yire say ne wote forgetting say o sesa no na niema na ope enunti ene ma ka mu bom in the first place sa niema no na wo change ni nkete afa bedu mmiri no you become somebody who has a stored character. I mean, now, you need time apart. Accept your independence. And then for kind of me time. You need me time. Time be you, yourself, and alone with yourself in a secluded place or isolated place for some time. Assert your independence. Maintain some hobbies or interests that are uniquely yours. Have some separate friends. Our hobby will just say, Yatiasia, you couldn't have for now, but so for soon and one found in our now. The year enough for you know, but so for soon and for me in our for. Say, a wow, any dear ancestry, but I tell you, along the line, you're going to lose your distinctive feature. And when you lose this, and you however, take an occasional trip somewhere by yourself. One casa, think about yourself. Say, this is who I am. Re-evaluate yourself. Say, both of you will share your me and son our worry. Anticipation be me, aspirations be another one. What has come? How are you faring in them? Remember what made you you and what drew you to your partner in the first place. The problem with allowing your identity to be consumed by a romantic relationship is that you change to be closer to the person you love. You cease to be the person that fell in love, that they fell in love with in the first place. As we try to change, you know, change your but we will change it too much. Nanka enya boni, but essence of us so otofu be a mintino. Mamenya to send your way. And so now that is what made you you. But as you try to change day by day, a time comes, you become a caricature. Okay? One gasano, utibiano, and yes, I tibi, umpenesabi, and yes, I know. Now, also attraction for others, but I say me pa. Here we are see a yawi, Yanko Pamba Yeni, Sa and Miri, a dear air fe Yeni. A woman say one worry dear, and so no attention, and nay or affection, Emma Wiri, Emma Ukum. But that doesn't mean say the natural tendency say you be one dear air fe, or nipping down the wall fe, and now say will be our shot at the command. You be wuna ye be come follow. That doesn't mean say you come for the penny away your mind. We are capable of finding multiple people attractive and interesting at the same time. And it is inevitable. And your life, sanity. One can say, TV. One day also read an Atari, one year. You have a sense of beauty, aesthetic values. Who will be over? A dear fair, your fair, a dear time, so your time. The fact is that one doesn't mean say who could I don't know, Mr. Universe. You can't handsomeness or be Anthony, and now you know, on beauty queen will be as there are many ways who conform who appreciating them is inevitable, but our decision to act on the attraction is a problem, and that one is preventable. So when you are attracted to idea the fact is say we be no idea then so me quine that. This is the problem here. And yet attraction now do media attack attraction. It is not the attraction, it is our self-control to know say it is a self-control to know say for so self-control and not necessarily you did a cause. Now do media now okay cancer attraction and the appreciation aesthetic values no okasha wouldn't be easy. The more I walk cash no e be do mmiri no o yire e be busa o say atare abashi elfa na who can say elfa because you are when they are too neutral or aesthetic sense no when they are too neutral hwenya ofe and hwenya water. When you doubting these impulses, attraction or any appreciation of the beauty in the world towards other people, you dumping them towards your partner as well. You are killing a part of yourself, and it ultimately only comes back to harm your relationship. And so, don't focus on the attraction. Focus on your action towards the attraction. And no, and I also control. Now, Michiana say, "Nyame hu mu ti obi mu a, Onyankopon for time does not control you. When you be born, come na esese o ye bibi wo fie, wo ye bibi ma wo yere, wo ye bibi ma wo kuna. Tell who say me the phone lay to Facebook time e twem, Skype e twem, Zoom time e twem, WhatsApp time e twem. Tell yourself that you are not a slave to time. God created time as a resource to be used. We are not slaves. But we will not be a sin at that day. No, and not to be 10, 11, 12, midnight. Now, you will be a bongo, and I'm here, and I'm and I'm a man who is young, be as well, your mouth. Obi to me, yes, I know the idea so now. You see, you are not a slave to time. Use time rather. Don't let time use you. Set a boundary on chat. Then I met to me, Madame Fubabiaka, Madame Fubabiaka. Then I met to me, Busia Waka. Then I mean to me, Busia Waka. Set your boundary. What time should I go on social media and what time shouldn't I go? Set the boundary for yourself. Movies, Ben and at time Ben and movie. Set time for yourself. Time Ben and time Ben and set time for yourself. Reasonable boundaries. And now for 4 days, and as when do I interact with my friends and when do I invite them home or when do I visit them? Set reasonable boundaries for yourself. And how do I deal with my relatives? Now may say, oh, and you live to satisfy the needs and the wants of Webusia Tentia. And the problem about nuclear family, you need to have a boundary. Boundary. And you say, Memma and some of you may Webusia, one year, Webusia, Yamedia Shamesa. Memma and some of you know, and Trame, and come Webusia. And I mean, Mamma Busia, Tintin, we are no money, Memma Panama, my name of our sin Mosem. Memma and also, and move Amaso, and my name say, do a dear, and Webusia. It would have been and will maintain balance. And Squire, you got bread and my yema compared to time my enema, your spouses. We need to have a boundary. And you will man on our room or ye, Tierney, on worry, or man, Ukru, and our worry. At the end, they will leave, and it will be only the two of you. Like to you, your husband, you, your wife, and Jesus. And Granny Babu, and we need to set boundary. Time, Yenya Dajema, I are Refusem said, I worry for Bebrenia or need time. A moko council one part a impasso and passo good deal. I think a baby back a corebi, Nebabi, a simple busano, no, a capoyasana, and whom one in our manatico, not Okurubi, or Yiribi Busani crew. I did the empire, PM and go with ye, and found, never Grano. Let us set a boundary when we talk about children. We should have time for them. And when we talk about ourselves, we should have time for ourselves. Sometimes, the only thing that can make a relationship successful is ending it at the necessary time. The Bible said, why you bet me up a good boss woman and Sinatari? No, we are there, best. It would be a JD say, and you are a bit of material. I say, fire will burn you. If you play with fire, fire will burn you. I'm the Rastafarian, reggae, and no be. I say fire will burn you if you play with fire. It will burn you. And those are the baby. Don't sell yourself short. Instead, there's a boundary. I'll cross a boundary now. The consequences will be damaging. Now, let honesty reign. Let honesty reign. What was that? They say, man will trap to be what it was you. But the bush, I'll say, hey, my tarry, I come fine. Now, because, hey, as I tell children, tell me, I can see it. Oh, there's always a quite answer here. Or when you say, and it's all boss. But remember, yes, I'm mistaken. And to a mistake, but come near me, and so next time they even be some people. Then they play you know a catcher. Then you couldn't play you know a catcher. When we build our relationship on dishonest assessment of ourselves, the results will be damaging for all of us. But let honesty reign in your marriage. Build your ebusia upon values. Satisfy the needs of people, not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear, and build your relationship upon trust. So, honesty, when our highest priority is to always make ourselves feel good, or to always make our partner feel good, then more often than not, nobody ends up really feeling good. And our relationships fall apart without us even knowing it. Yen kanokre and church it. If you say, Yen dinokre, and yahu edia, when yankupon, ebishra, yawani, obishra, ebusi. Now, solution a trato. I make you agree, as you say, let some conflict slide. Or for any assembly now, there's a PH. And yes, somebody now, there's yes, a be bad, send a buy, Jai Mananko. but ye busuafo ye kunu bi mu ye yere no mu bi ye mba bi mu anya awofo bi me twa wani so biara age se aka ho asemansa ade bi si biara ehu hia je se aka ho asem na ye ka ho asem so ano se atete ne se woni nkunu yere kasa ahomache na wa frɛ wo na ne o makasa eja ahomache ani balada na ofina kwesi sorry epia sorry no abo asem so who said the first response is the assembly you see, trivial issues, let it slide. Non-consequential habits, let it slide. Irregular personal traits. Nipa no wan shada no ye, ba ku be na be ye to. Enya sa no tie. Bibi be ko ba asa. E na nti twa le dia ni. Enya sa no tie. Let it slide. Trivial issues. And someone and said the ni into a so ni and so bonibian. Let it slide. Now, Sembia Obeka, you should have married an angel. I don't know, angel. You should have married a neighbor, because angel from somewhere. I know your mistake. Nipa your mistake, but mistakes be bad. Now, and who's to stand so, and you can see, now, and say here, and you be behind and see and Kuna. Last time I did Jawo Ekatu, I said, successful couples accept and understand that some conflict is inevitable. That there will always be certain things they don't like or know or understand about their partner, or things they don't agree with. And that is why. As you say, you worry about who. Or why no more tell Bibi or 1 year. Agree me or how one day. Or reacting differently from us. Or responding to stimulus differently from us. Or my young differently from us, or my think guy different from us. That's how they play. And I say, yes, say, you need your don't for more perception, and you're different. And that is why we need empathy. So one tears, yes, there, your tension will never end. But so tears, yes, there. Kitiam Ponyango and the empathy about 2 hours. Now, after dear, who don't say, what do I know better? So, what do we What do I know better? So, what do I know better? So, what do I know better? What do I na wunduma nso ebedi adanse ese odo na ode wa no kan eno na ode yes ma twedi ampo yakopon e ma yinu kasa ene ye enko pepepe e we busu asetirem Yesu Kristo bi
amen da Awurade ase osofo Awurade Israel e wo sema Awurade na moso aka amema ye fakwanya so na yakase Awurade Israel yi anu ma ofiri miamia abe join ye na nimbre sebisa ene ebeba ati we se ye kase ye ni ade pass ne mo be kan ho